Hello, everyone, and welcome you all to another chapter of the DaVinci Resolve tutorial. So now we are on our chapter number 12, where I'll be showing you guys about editing the audio. Okay, so we'll be learning how you will be able to edit the audio in DaVinci Resolve. So let's not waste time and let's get started. So over here on my screen, as you guys can see, this is the same project in which we worked in our last class. Okay. So let me take my playhead into the first frame again. And now we are going to talk about simple audio editing. Okay. So to put up any kind of audio, you guys can basically check this one out over here. Okay. So what I can do is I will just check these things out and I will drag and drop this one over here onto my timeline. Okay, so I will just drag and drop it over here onto the timeline. Let's come here and let's just decrease the size from here itself. Let's trim this down a little bit. And over here, I will trim this a bit as well. And what I can do is I can come here and I will just put out it as the same size. Okay, let me come here. Let me just put this one over here and same exact size. Okay, so once you're done with this particular part, make sure your snapping is on. I will come here. I will just adjust this particular layer as well. Okay, so now if you do want to link all of this, you guys can come here and you guys can select all this thing, right click, and you guys can link all these clips together. Okay, if you do want to move it later with the same, okay, like if you don't want to move it one by one, but in that case you want to move all of this all together. Okay, so you guys can basically do that. So now let's come here. If you do want to view this frame a bit bigger, you guys can come here and you guys can basically have multiple audios. Okay, so over here I have already told you guys what is in my solo, how you can actually mute up a track, and also this is the auto track selector. Okay, and using this one you guys can basically log the track. Okay, and after that let's come here, let's select this particular thing up, and if you do want to actually check the audio range, you guys can click onto the mixer option, and from here if you do want to increase the volume, you guys can come here and increase the sound level. From here you guys can select at what level you want this thing to be. Again, if you just click onto the mixer option, it will just close down accordingly. Okay, so that is the usage of this audio. Okay, and again if you click on to the sound library, if you want, if you do have the premium version of DaVinci Resolve, from here you will be able to get different kind of sounds from DaVinci itself. Okay, so if you come right over here, if you do want to add any kind of effects over here, you guys can also do that. Okay, so in that case, basically let's select this one, and from here you guys can go to the inspector panel, and from the inspector panel you guys can see that you will be able to check out the volume. Okay, if you do want to increase the volume, you guys can come here and increase the volume accordingly. If you want to decrease that, you guys can do that. And here you do have the pan option. If you come here and now let's just play this thing up, and here you guys can see that how loud the music is. Okay, so for me I will just decrease this one by 50 over here. Let's come down over here again, and if you do want to play this thing again, you guys can come here and you guys can just play this thing accordingly. Okay, if you do want to move out the pan, and again if you want to redo this thing, you guys can redo that as well. Okay, so here if you do have any kind of voice, if you want to use the voice isolation, and also you guys can check out the pitch, and also if you do want to change the speed, okay, of the music, you guys can come here and change up the speed of the music as well. Okay, and next and last comes the equalizer. If you do want your equalizer option, you guys can come here and turn on to the equalizer option as well, and basically you guys will be able to manipulate these options. Let's say if you do want to increase or decrease, you guys can come here and do these things accordingly. Okay, let's come here, and if you do want to move this thing apart, you guys can come here and move this thing apart as well. So now let's come down. If you want to check out what band are you looking for, you guys can select that. You guys can come here and select this particular option as well. Now let's play this thing, and you guys can hear that the music is kind of distorted. Okay, so you guys can come here and check this one out, and according to yourself, you guys can basically work with this particular option. Okay, so any changes you need to make over here into the audio option, you guys can use the inspector option from your keyboard. And if you come here, if you just go into this option, you guys can actually increase or decrease the decibels. Now, I do have decreased the decibel, and if I come here and if I just play this one, you guys can hear that the audio is very less. Okay, so I will just pause this thing again over here, and the same way I can just increase the volume. Okay, let's come here. Let's give this thing somewhat around -0. And now if I just play this thing, this one sounds better. And under the mixer option, if I do want to see it, how it actually looks, okay, here you guys can see this is how it basically looks. So if I come here and let me just decrease this one, let's come here, let's just play this one, and this is how it will basically sound or look like. Okay. And from here as well, once you are done working with the audio, let's close down the inspector from here. And if you go to effects here, you guys can see that under audio transition, I do have the crossfade option. Okay, so the crossfade 0 decibel is the default. You guys can come here and maybe put it just over the audio, and it will be applied accordingly. And if you do want to start it slow, okay, in that case here you guys can see on both the sides of the audio you do have this white icon. Okay, so if you do want to move it up, let's say you want to just delay this one a bit, let's come here, let's move this one up a little bit as well. Let's come here, let's move this apart, let's come here, let's select this thing. Okay, let's come here, let's try to select this one. Let me just keep this one right over here. And the same way, what I'm going to do is I am going to come here, move this thing one apart, and over here I will just select this whole thing, and let me just place it right over here. Okay, so you guys can basically work on with your audio quite like this. You guys can see it is starting quite slowly. Okay, but whenever it comes to this middle part, it will again play the way it used to be. Okay, so this was about audio transitions, this was about manipulating the audio levels as well. Okay, so yeah, I hope you guys do have understood this class on how you will be able to work on with audio in DaVinci Resolve. So yeah, I hope to see you all in the next chapter where we'll be learning more about DaVinci. So see you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye everyone.